What up, everybody? Welcome back. I posted something that has gotten more hate than anything that I've ever put out online. All right. And this post has gone pretty crazy viral. Hundreds of angry comments, people tagging their friends to come roast me, DMs calling me every name in the book. And you know what else happened? I've gained at this point, I've got over 670 followers. It's gotten over like 200,000 views. It's climbing every day. But today in this episode, in the video, this YouTube video, for those watching live on the YouTubes, I'm going to break down exactly why polarizing content works, okay, and how to do it without being a complete douchebag. And I'll show you real examples from some of our students who've also mastered this viral polarizing take content. So stick around because this is going to be an important content strategy episode that is going to help you tremendously. Okay, so the unfortunate truth here that a lot of coaches just don't want to hear is that your safe, balanced, well-researched content is usually going to get ignored, not because it's bad, but because you're just kind of doing it wrong. Okay, social media does not reward nuance. It rewards emotion. And so I'm going to play for you the post here that I made. Trigger warning, it's pretty fucked up and not really my real take on this subject, but I wanted to do this as an experiment, okay? Let's just go ahead and play the clip here and then tell me what you guys think. You're too weak to let them figure out how to self-soothe. Meanwhile, you're walking around like a fucking zombie. Your marriage is falling apart because you're both exhausted and irritable, and your kid's cranky all day because they're not getting quality sleep. But God forbid little Timmy cries for 20 minutes learning that bedtime means bedtime. Oh no, I'm traumatizing him. No, Karen. You know what's traumatizing? Growing up in a household where everybody's miserable because nobody sleeps. Sleep training takes like 2 to 5 days max. Your kid learns independence, gets better sleep, and your whole family functions like actual human beings. But instead, you'd rather martyr yourself for years because you're calling it gentle parenting. The same parents who won't sleep train are the ones complaining about being exhausted and their kids having behavioral issues and their relationships are suffering. Maybe connect the dots. Look, your great grandmother raised 8 kids and they all slept through the night by 6 months. But sure, tell me more about how letting a kid cry for 15 minutes is child abuse. Okay, so look, pretty fucked up, right? And I did this mostly through an experiment, okay? That's just the reality. I wanted to see if I could get people like over a controversial hot take to be, polarizing and to see what happens in the comment. I wanted to show basically that it's infinitely more likely to go viral if you position an opinion as fact. In other words, you take something that's highly nuanced, emotionally charged, like sleep training, and strip all the nuance out of it, and this works. And I honestly kind of hate this type of content, but it's also what all of us, including me, typically engage with the most. And if you knew me, you'd also know that I'm only roughly maybe 40% as douchey in real life as I come off in this video. All right, so let me just add some more context here. So maybe just pause that, Kyle. So what I did after this post went viral is I wanted to state also some more context and narrative around what my actual opinions are on this topic. So I went in and you'll see here, I'm sharing this on YouTube, but I basically pinned a comment on the post that says like disclaimer. And I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'm like, full transparency, this post was meant to piss you guys off, right? And I kind of explained like why I did this. And then I just posted a thread. And in the thread, I said, hey, here's my real stance. And I kind of go into like what I actually believe. And I go into some research and I cite studies, research showing that kids have fragmented, insufficient sleep, have measurable deficits in cognitive, emotional, and behavioral development. And how behavioral sleep interventions like sleep training in healthy infants show no long-term harm and can improve outcomes for both kids and parents. I share another meta-analysis that shows co-sleeping or extended bed sharing in the first year may be linked with worse sleep patterns. And I even share a meta-analysis that says what the evidence is for infant sleep training and how sleep training improves infant sleep problems. About 1 in 4 to 1 in 10 benefit with no adverse effects under 5 years. And maternal mood scales also statistically improve. So again, I'm just like, hey guys, listen, here's what I believe, and I don't believe it works for everybody. And how co-sleeping, that's what I would have done if it were up to me, because I would sleep fine with a baby in the bed. But Aaron is a very light sleeper. So she would have never gotten any sleep. It would have destroyed our family. So Aaron found this solution, this sleep training course, this methodology. And again, I just added more narrative in the context, in the comments. So like the point is you can post something with really like real triggering angle, but then you can add more context if the post goes viral, like in a pinned thread. That way people get to know you deeper. They get to know the real you and get to like even turn people who maybe were originally pissed off into like raving fans. Okay. So let's jump into another example here of like a student that does this really well in our program, Maddie. So Maddie came to us about 2 years ago. She was just fresh out of college, like 21 years old. And she's since gone on to build her business now, does $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 months. It's pretty crazy. She works with ex-athletes and like her business was doing well. We helped her go from 5K months to like 40 or 50. But then it really started to blow up when she just took the filter off. She just started showing up online unapologetically herself and not giving a fuck about pissing people off. And her organic has exploded. We just had an in-person event with all of our 7-figure clients, which these are clients that are doing over 50K a month. And we bring them in person in Columbus and look at their data. We map out their quarters. We do all the game planning. And we're looking to see like her lead flow. And she gets like 5, 6, 7,000 new followers every month from her polarizing content. Okay, so let me show you some examples from Maddie here. So I'm gonna show you one post here from Maddie. And if you're watching this, it shows how life feels when you're skinny. And she's like dancing around with text overlay that says how it feels when you're skinny. Then the next one, it says, I woke up, it's like her in the car. She's just like sipping out of her Stanley. And she's like, I woke up, I'm not a feminist, I'm not fat, the sun is shining, I'm not a vegan, life is great. And then another one shows like her in a bikini, like selfie in a mirror. And it's like, if it's okay to be fat, then why is it bad to call someone fat? Pretty crazy, right? And dude, one of those posts got 15.5 million views, 408,000 likes, 8,000 comments, and also like 10,000 new followers. All right, so the point is polarizing content cut through the noise and they trigger engagement, comments, and shares. It sparks bold conversations, debates, and strong emotions, which boosts in the algorithm. It positions you as a thought leader with confidence and conviction, which is super important. I'll talk about in a minute. And it's easy to produce. It's easy to make, right? You just show up and rant or like B-roll with like a strong opinion text overlay. And when framed correctly, controversial content can drive authority and lead flow. So how do you actually apply this in your business? I'll just give you the steps here. So what we want to do is step 1, lead with a polarizing opinion, something that makes people stop scrolling and have a reaction, either agree or disagree, doesn't matter. The point is to cut through the noise. Number 2, let the comments become the content. The algorithm doesn't care if people agree with you. It cares if they engage. Comments, shares, saves. That's what gets you distribution and gets shared in front of broader audiences. And then step 3, you can add nuance in the caption if you want, right? This is where most people screw up. The post is a hot take and just leave it there. But the best creators like Maddie, they use the caption to like follow up or add context or invite conversation or reframe the discussion around an open debate. And again, this keeps the post running when you're like debating and actually engaging in the comments, right? So the key here, more than anything else, is that it has to be authentic. You can't just post fake controversial clicks. People will see through that. You got to post your real beliefs, something you actually stand for, stated with confidence. That might make some people uncomfortable. That's the difference between like polarizing content and just pure clickbait, right? And so the final thing I want to share here is like where most coaches really get stuck. Most coaches get stuck here because they understand the strategy. They see that it works. They have belief that it works, but they can't bring themselves to actually post it. Why is that? Because they're terrified of judgment. And something that changed everything for me is the goal of a great online fitness business is to consistently attract and work with clients who you love and who love working with you. That's the game. But the problem is you can't make everyone love you. So the key is, number 1 is to work with clients who you love and who love working with you. Number 2 is to find a way to stand out in the marketplace. The key to number 1 is focusing on number 2. What I mean is when you really stand out and you don't water yourself down and you post stuff that doesn't allow anybody to really get to know you at all, you become forgettable. So in order for people to love you, to attract clients who love you and who you love working with, you must give other people permission to hate you. Okay, read that again. In order for people to love you, you must give other people permission to hate you. The coaches who build big audiences and make lead flow and signing clients relatively easy, they have haters, lots of them, right? But they also have raving fans who would follow them anywhere to the edge of the earth. The trade-off is that, but it's worth it. So the real question that you have to consistently ask yourself is, do you have more fear around being broke than you care about other people's opinions? Or maybe it's not being broke. Do you care more about your success in terms of helping people and making an impact than you care about what other people think? So if that's the case, you're going to be held back. You're going to filter your true beliefs. You're going to not allow your true personality to come out of fear of judgment. And the reality is, you know who you're actually probably worried about? It's like that one fucking asshole from high school or the family member, right? That one random person whose opinion of you is tied to some old trauma that you've dealt with, right? Your parents, family members, your friends, they're not the ones that are living your life. Why should you give them the power to control your reach, your ability to impact, your ability to influence, and ultimately serve people? Like you're letting them control your life. It's crazy. They're probably never going to work with you. They're never going to support you, and they're definitely not going to pay you, right? So why are you building a business around their comfort? So anyways, learning to post polarizing content is not just a marketing tactic. It's also a personal development milestone. So when you release the need for everyone to like you, you don't just grow your business, you show up more authentically in every area of your life. Parenting, friendships, relationships, whatever the case. Because when you hold back, you play small. When you filter yourself, you're not serving the people who you actually need to help. The real clients are going to resonate you. They're the ones right now scrolling, looking for somebody who gets them, right? Who they align and vibe with. So you can't afford, or they can't find you because you're being safe. And vanilla content just sounds like everybody else, okay? So again, that's my mindset riff here on that topic. So how do you actually do this? Step one, start by asking yourself, what's one belief that I have that goes against mainstream advice in my niche, right? One that's like polarizing, controversial, hot take, something that's like really fucked up. Maybe it's political, maybe it's industry specific, maybe it's like a parenting hot take or relationship hot take, whatever the case. Pick it, state it briefly, let people react, and then find the topics that consistently trigger people and then recreate content around those topics. So now if you're thinking, Jordan, I really love this strategy and this makes sense, but I have no idea what to actually do or how to create this kind of content. Do not worry. I have a special tool, an AI tool for you. So what I'm gonna share with you here, for those watching on YouTube, you're seeing an image of our Notion. It's a Notion doc that is our viral AI content engine. So what the hell is that? So if you're thinking, Jordan, I love this, makes sense, but I just feel stuck and I have no idea how to actually create this kind of content. Do not worry. I've built a special AI tool to be able to help you to do this. We call this our viral AI content engine. For those watching on YouTube, you're looking at the hub, our Notion doc here, that basically has 10 proven viral post templates that have been proven to go viral based on us analyzing thousands of our successful students' content and pieces or posts and pieces of content. And so, for example, viral controversial starter reel is one of them. We also have a transformation story reel template, how to tell your story in a way that goes viral. We have viral trend remixes, personal story with humor, viral demonstration mastery reels. Each one of these, basically, we've plugged into a viral AI engine, or it's an AI agent. And all you have to do is plug in one simple prompt and it literally will pump out exactly what you need. For example, let's say we want to recreate some of Maddie's types of content. We literally just paste in the agent, help me create a viral controversial starter reel. You literally plug that in here to the agent, demonstrating here live for those listening, just loading the agent here. I plug that in, boom. And within seconds, it's going to ask you just the relevant questions. You only have to answer these questions once. That's going to allow it to then recreate this type of post in your voice, your opinions, and link like your offer or lead magnet or whatever it is, right? So it's basically pumping out right now for those listening, like, okay, here's the type of post, here's why this works. And then it's just going to ask you, who's your target avatar? What controversial or polarizing opinion do you hold? What's the deeper message or philosophy that you want to communicate behind the hot take? Do you want this to be leaning more towards bold, polarizing statements? If it's okay to be fat, then why is it so bad to call someone fat? Or more engagement-based content, right? What's the most feral thing you've ever done to lose weight, right? Then it's going to ask you where you want to drive your viewers when it does go viral. Do you want to take them to your offer or to a lead magnet or just to engage in the comments? If you want to access this, all you have to do is click the link in the show notes. There should be a link that you can download it 100% for free. I'm telling you guys, this will change the game for you in terms of just getting more views on your content and simplifying things. So that's all I got for this episode, y'all. Hopefully you found some value in this. At the very least, maybe some mindset shifts that you need to, stop being such a pansy and show up on social media a little bit more yourself, right? So anyways, thanks for listening, y'all. I'll see you on the next one.